He never shared a thing online. So why the hell were there pictures of his bedroom taken from the inside? Jordan Reyes was a quiet, observant kid, always more comfortable watching life pass by rather than starring in it. He wasn't into selfies or trending apps. His digital life was locked tight, his personal space inviolate. Then one night, his phone buzzed with an unfamiliar snap-a-photo of his own bedroom taken from outside his window. At first, he tried to laugh it off, chalking it up to a strange glitch or an elaborate prank. But his stomach sank when a second snap arrived just minutes later, this one taken from inside his room. It showed him, mid-scroll, oblivious, as if someone had been silently watching every moment. Heart pounding and breath shallow, Jordan raced to tell his best friend, Ava Lee, the one person who had always been his digital partner in crime and his go-to for unraveling tech mysteries. Ava's response was immediate and cutting through the fear. "Did you really think you got rid of your old Snap account?" It turned out that a supposedly deleted account was still active, a ghostly archive of images Jordan never sent himself. There were photos of him at school, in the backyard, even asleep in his room. Every picture was a reminder that someone had found a way into his life, a shadow lurking where he thought he was safe. That afternoon, the mundane suburban streets suddenly looked alien and threatening. Ava's investigative instinct led them to a rundown apartment a few blocks away, a place with shuttered windows and a seedy vibe. Behind a crack in a weathered pane, a flicker caught their eyes, a reflection of a phone, its screen casting a faint glow into the darkness. Inside that forgotten apartment, they discovered something that deepened the chill. There was a small wall of screens, each one feeding live images from hidden cameras scattered around. One camera was tucked away behind the vent in Jordan's own room, a tiny, unassuming device placed during a routine repair, silently recording every moment. The photos weren't random. They were the work of someone who was meticulous, patient, and utterly invasive. Jordan could still feel the echo of that phone's buzz, the stark, cold realization that his private world had been compromised. He never looked at his window or his phone in the same light again. Even as night fell and he sat in the darkness, the thought nagged at him. What if there's someone still watching? What if, every time that screen lights up, it's another silent observer, capturing his most private moments? The story of Jordan Reyes became a quiet, unsettling reminder. In a world where even the smallest flicker of light on a screen can betray your privacy, the line between connection and vulnerability is thinner than you ever imagined. Ever scrolled through your snaps and wondered if someone's been lurking in the background all along? Emily Torres was 13, bright, imaginative, and utterly obsessed with capturing everyday moments on Snapchat. It wasn't about showing off or chasing likes for her. It was about freezing time, preserving that perfect laugh or the way sunlight danced across her favorite spot in the garden. But one ordinary Thursday night, her digital diary took a sinister turn. That evening, Emily was in her room, experimenting with a new filter that gave her oversized bunny ears and a mischievous grin. With a playful caption, "Homework can wait when you're this cute," she sent a snap off to her friends. Within seconds, her phone buzzed with a message. "Wait, who's behind you?" At first, she thought it might just be a stray hair or an odd shadow. But when she reviewed the snap, a chill ran down her spine. There, barely visible behind her shoulder, was a figure, a blurry, pale face, masked by distortion, its hollow eyes fixed on her. The next morning, as she brushed her teeth with the familiar pop of the dog ears filter, another snap appeared. Her friends' messages poured in almost instantly. "Seriously, who's that in the hallway?" Emily spun around, heart hammering against her ribs. The corridor was silent, unoccupied, but the photo told a different story. A dark, uninvited shape was captured halfway down the hallway, closer than before, its form unnervingly human yet undeniably off. That evening, trembling, Emily confided in her older sister, Sophie Ramirez, who was 15 and always the cautious protector of the two. Sophie's eyes narrowed as she scrolled through the snaps on Emily's phone. "Emily, this isn't a random glitch or a funny filter malfunction. Something's really wrong here," she said firmly. "We need to be careful." Fear mingled with disbelief as Sophie insisted that they shouldn't sleep in Emily's room that night. Instead, they packed up their things and retreated into Sophie's room, a small sanctuary with a solid lock and fewer windows. Even then, both sisters felt that prickling sensation, as if unseen eyes were still watching. For a few tense nights, they kept their phones on silent, determined to break free from what they hoped was a digital prank. But one night, when the world outside lay hushed in darkness, Sophie's phone buzzed again, a new Snap notification from an account that wasn't in her contacts. With shaking fingers, she opened it. The image was even more disturbing. It showed Sophie sound asleep on her bed, her peaceful expression marred by a shadow lurking just outside her field of vision. Next to her, Emily was visible as well, captured from an impossible angle, as if someone had been peeking in from above. Panic set in. They contacted their parents, reached out to the police, and even tried to trace the mysterious account. But there was nothing, no clear evidence of a hack, no sign of an intruder physically entering their home. Yet, the snaps kept coming, each one more unnerving than the last, each taken from angles no one in the house could have achieved. Days turned into a nightmarish blur. They changed phones, altered passwords, even rearranged their sleeping arrangements. For a fleeting moment, hope sparked until one rainy afternoon, when Emily decided to check something casually, opening the camera app on her phone. Not Snapchat, just the regular camera. She aimed it at herself in a mirror. That's when she saw it. Reflected behind her, in the darkened background, was a face. Not a glitch or a trick of light, but a genuine, unsettling face with eyes that seemed to burn with hidden intent. It wasn't just a digital error anymore. It felt personal, like an invasion of her very soul through the screen. In that horrified moment, Emily and Sophie realized that their private lives had become public territory for a mysterious watcher, a figure who exploited the boundaries of digital filters to blur the line between an online world of fun and the stark reality of danger. The sisters didn't know who the watcher was or what they really wanted. All they knew was that every snap, every seemingly harmless moment, might be tainted by an unseen presence. Their home, once a safe space of family memories and mundane routines, had turned into a stage for a silent, disturbing performance. So remember this. In an age where every moment is shared with the tap of a screen, privacy is more fragile than ever. Behind the filter, what we think is just another snap can sometimes reveal that the line between our digital personas and our real lives is far thinner and far more vulnerable than we ever imagined. Have you ever felt like a stranger was watching you before you even knew you were being watched? Max Bennett was 17 and always prided himself on being ahead in the digital game. He wasn't paranoid. He managed his social media like a pro, double-checking privacy settings and keeping one step ahead. But that all changed one gloomy afternoon, when something unexpected cracked his perfect routine. It was a dreary Wednesday, the kind where even the sky seems low on hope. Max was on his usual walk home after school, headphones in, lost in his music and snaps. Suddenly, his phone buzzed with a Snap notification from a user named Hector. The image? A dim, slightly blurry shot of the very street he was on. Underneath, the caption read, "Nice red hoodie. Saw you taking that shortcut." Max's heart skipped a beat. He scanned his surroundings. There was nobody in sight. He shrugged it off at first, thinking it must be some sort of glitch. But then, later that day, another Snap landed on his screen. This time, it was taken at his home, his own front door, captured from a weird, off-kilter angle. The message said, "Almost missed you. Be careful. His phone wouldn't stop buzzing for the next few days. Every snap was a moment just before he made a decision, a snap right before he turned onto Maple Street. One even arriving a minute before he boarded the bus. And then came the one that chilled him to the bone. While waiting at the bus stop one rainy evening, Max's phone flashed a message. Don't. There was no image, only that simple, haunting word. Almost immediately after, a terrible accident happened down the street, a jolt that forced him to stand frozen on the curb. Max confided in his longtime friend, Rachel Kim, that night. Over cups of lukewarm tea in the quiet of his room, she listened as he recounted the barrage of cryptic, timely snaps. It's like someone is predicting your every move, she said, her voice laced with concern. Max, have you ever thought that maybe Hector isn't just a hacker? What if he's been watching every step you've taken, every digital footprint? The weight of her words pressed on him. Max dove into his digital history, his saved stories, his geotagged posts. Piece by piece, a pattern emerged, a voyeur who wasn't after likes or views, but after the intimate details of his daily life. Then came the final, horrifying message. 3 nights later, Max received a video, not from him, but from Hector. The shaky footage revealed a room that looked eerily like his own. The camera panned slowly, capturing shadows creeping near the doorway, and for a moment, Max's own reflection appeared in a window. Only then it shifted, revealing a figure that didn't belong. The caption under the video read simply, "I was never online." Max's world crumbled in that moment. The secure facade he'd built around himself vanished, replaced by the raw terror of knowing that his every move had been exploited. He reported it all, changed his numbers, even found himself questioning the very digital space he once trusted. Now, Max is a changed person, more cautious, more aware that sometimes the danger isn't out there in strangers you meet online, but in the silent, unseen watcher in the background of every moment.
Like, subscribe and comment.